Hey everybody, my name is Nancy and I am the Cozy Coastal Gamer, and today I had an idea. What if you download a wedding venue from the gallery and then convert it to a cemetery? Because a church is a church, so let's see how that goes. Before we get into the build, I wanted to explain the game plan I had before I started. The lot requirements for a wedding venue are all optional, but are a wedding arch, a bar, dining chairs, indoor plants, stereo, sink, toilet, and wall decor. And if you add the recommendations from Petey Plays It, you add kitchen or banquet table, musical instrument, and dance floor. The lot requirements for a cemetery are 1 headstone or urn, toilet, 2 benches, 1 trash can, and the optional requirements are 2 grave sites, a crypt, and a casket. And if you add the recommendations from Petey Plays It, you add a podium, stereo, musical instrument, kitchen or banquet table, garden planter, and memorial display. Cross-referencing these, the overlap is a kitchen or banquet table, musical instrument, stereo, dance floor, and bar. I decided to keep the bar. The item to remove from the wedding venue is the wedding arch if you don't have enough room to keep it. So you would need to add benches, headstone or urn, podium, garden planter, memorial display, and optionally gravesite, crypt, and casket. So we're going to be building in Strangerville on Carpophagous Corner with the Carpophagous Chapel that I made a while ago. And I'm just showing you it's on the gallery. I plopped it down and now I'm removing all of the things that I decided weren't going to be in the cemetery. So all the seating, the wedding aisles, and the backsplash for the wedding arch that I put indoors. And then I just zoomed out to see if there were any finer details I wanted to keep but possibly change, like that sign on the front porch. And then now I'm deciding if I wanted to keep the outside seating area, but in the end I decided to remove it. And I'm just getting the inside now set up more for a funeral. I'm figuring out that I wanted the same seating, but I wanted to change the decorations on the backs to be more plain. I thought that would be a little bit better because they didn't have like black flowers on the back of the chairs. And then now I'm getting the requirements, the memorial display, the podium, figuring out where the podium's going to go, or the memorial display. And I ended up putting that where I put the wedding arch before, and now I'm changing the colors to match more for a funeral. The rugs and the canopy lighting from high school years. I changed the piano and then the tablecloths. And that's a banquet table in the back on the upstairs. And there's also a stereo and a dance floor upstairs. And then now I'm adding the memorial wreaths. And I didn't really like any of the color swatches on the memorial wreaths, but I liked this one the best of them. So that's the one I ended up using. And I added a memorial cannon just because why not? Why not? And I ended up actually removing that shark pond, and now I'm looking at the requirements for the cemetery. I don't know why I didn't have that up earlier, but I'm just laying out what the requirements were and making sure that I had all of them. I did have a list with me from what the Petey Plays It recommendations were, and I was referencing that before I actually had the lot assigned as a cemetery. And then now I'm just removing the random terrain paint that I had underneath the items that were placed, like the benches and chairs and stuff, how I had that little bit of terrain paint just to make it look like it was worn down. And I'm figuring out if I wanted to add a crypt or not, and just seeing if it worked. And I didn't like it in the end, so I removed it. And now I'm getting the garden planters. I didn't know if I wanted to do the small ones or the big ones. And I'm looking for debug for the mother plant trophy that the hero of Strangerville gets when they do the defeat the mother plant. And I'm trying to figure out if I wanted the garden planters to be outside of it or just randomly on the lot. I ended up choosing randomly on the lot because I had a different plan for the mother plant memorial thing. So the reason why I got that was I built another cemetery in Strangerville for the Little Simsy Shell Challenge in May. And I really liked it, but I didn't like the location of it. It just didn't feel right. I ended up putting it on the lot that the mayor usually lives on. It's the Strangerville Overlook. And I just didn't like how that looked for my personal idea of what I wanted for Strangerville. And I thought this lot was a lot better. Hence the idea for this entire video, because I already built a wedding venue for this lot because let's see, James Turner's Black Widower Challenge had a wedding venue on this lot, I believe, and I wanted to challenge myself to see if I could build a wedding venue on the same lot. So that's why I made the wedding venue. And then now I decided to change it to a cemetery so that I had options on what I wanted to do. And now I'm figuring out for the hero of Strangerville, I thought there would be a memorial for all of those lost in the battle against the mother plant, which is why I had that big statue. And then I was thinking maybe that there was also the headstone or gravesite of the actual hero of Strangerville after he passed away, he or she or they passed away. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm figuring out what would actually be good if the hero of Strangerville passed away, what could work on his gravesite. And I was pretty simple. I just did a few things that are needed for the quest to do the Strangerville mystery. And then I found this statue of the plant that spawns around. And it said it was a statue. So I was like, okay. And then I'm trying to figure out how to place it on the gravestone. And I tried the trick for placing it, the CC people, they have the red shelf, and then if you don't have CC, you can use the Dream Home Decorator or the bathroom shelf that has all the towels in it. But this item, it clicks on the floor. It snaps in on the grid on the floor. So it didn't work. And I ended up raising it up, but not all the way, because if I did it all the way, it floated. So it was just a little bit under. And then I thought it looked okay. And then I decided to remove the shark pond. It just didn't seem to fit anymore. And I added grave sites for that. So I'm rearranging the plants now. And I thought I really liked how this lot fits in the world. One of my goals when I'm building is to really make it fit in the world. So I'm not sure how well my lots that I build fit on other lots, because I am so focused on making sure that they fit on the lot that they're built on. So the last thing I ended up doing in this lot, in this build, was putting the grave sites in. I tried to figure out a casket, but it didn't really work. And now I'm just doing the finer details. I'm changing the swatches of the grave sites so they're not all the same, but I had the same wood around them. And I'm just doing a double check on if there are any other finer details I wanted to change. I don't really think I changed that much, just a few color swatches, and maybe I added some lights. Like I think I'm trying to decide if I wanted a little bit of landscaping around the gravesite, which I think I kept in. Yeah, and I put some grass around the memorial for the people lost to the mother plant. And really just doing the finer details and figuring out what else I needed. I wanted to do the lighting next, which was the flowers, I believe. Yeah, the flowers. I looked up what Carpophagous meant because this is the Carpophagous corner lot. And Carpophagous meant an organism that eats fruit. And fruit come from flowers. So I really tried to work on adding flowers to this lot. So the rug upstairs is a flower rug. The dance floor is a flower. These outdoor lights are flowers. There's a bunch of flowers everywhere on the lot. I really tried to make it like this is made for this lot. And now I'm just doing the terrain paint, which is super fun on console. It's not fun. I would be terrible even if I had a mouse, because for one, I'm left-handed. I use a mouse with my right hand, so it's always awkward when I have to do fine detail stuff like that on a mouse. And then with controllers on console, it's tricky to get that fine detail with the joystick. And I found these plaques, like you're at a museum. I think they're for the Chateau something. I don't remember the name of the lot. Museum type lot. Chateau Gardens, I think. I found those and I thought it would be nice to have like a little placard that explains the hero of Strangerville's story and the memorial of what that big giant weird flower thing is for people who visit. And I'm adjusting the seating, just making sure all of those last little details are up. And again, I went through the different swatches of that memorial wreath and I did not like it. So now I'm just uploading it to the gallery in a little bit. There you go. And there it is on the gallery. I didn't do a limited pack build. Yeah, I didn't do a limited pack build, but it's on the gallery if you want it. Carpophagous Cemetery, and I think it turned out really, really well. And I was surprised how easy it was to convert a wedding venue to a cemetery. Granted, I did make the wedding venue, so I knew it inside and out. That build took a long time, but overall, I'm really, really happy with how both of these lots turned out, and I hope you liked it too. Bye! Thank you for watching my video. If you liked it, give it a like.